You guys all set?
Yeah.
We're gonna close this door then for you. Okay. For right now.
Oh.
How many people have headsets up there? Two. Two, remember? Okay. So there should be another headset. Yeah. This is yours, right? Yeah, that's mine. Okay, tell Cole he's telling Dario, because Cole for some reason doesn't have a headset on. Paul has a headset. Who else has a headset? Oh, okay. One of you, can you give me one of the headsets so I can talk to Cole? Yeah. Does he know he's live? Okay, good. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think they give us a cue on when our mics go live.
What's that?
I said I think they give us a cue on when our mics go live.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Chandler High School, home of the defending state champion Chandler Wolves. There tonight, where they are going to be facing a familiar foe in the Perry Pumas. I am Jody Isaac, and I am joined by Clay. Didn't catch your last name.
That would be Baldenegro.
There you go. Clay, thanks for joining us tonight. We got a great matchup. Chandler coming off a big victory over Pinnacle last week in a 64-0 victory. They are 2-0 on the season. Perry Pumas, who have struggled early on this season, are at 0-2 and coming off a loss to the Hamilton Huskies at a 64-22. Do you think we can expect another lopsided victory for the Chandler Wolves tonight?
Honestly, I really do think we can. I think Perry needs to bring their best to actually take down Chandler's defense or even their offense. And I don't think Chandler's going to come any less than they did last week. And last week they absolutely demolished Pinnacle. Sorry about that. So I think Perry needs to bring their best. And if they don't, well, it's going to be another blowout.
Let's take a look a little bit at these two offenses, and we'll start with the Chandler. Some of the two of the best quarterbacks here in the region. And it starts with Chandler's Mikey Keene, who has a 73% completion percentage, and he's thrown 6 touchdown passes and over 400 yards in the 2 victories so far. He will be opposed by Dane White, their standout senior quarterback, who has thrown for 359 yards with a 75% completion percentage and 4 touchdown passes on the year. You think we can expect pretty much the same fireworks from these two teams tonight?
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like Chandler has a lot of running strong points right now with Eli Sanders. Eli is definitely one person that needs to be taken down by Perry, and I honestly don't think they're going to be able to take him down tonight.
Yes, Eli Sanders has amassed over 345 rushing yards so far this season with an average of over 10 yards per carry. So looking also, you got also Chandler has a standout wide receiver in Keon Grays. He's averaging a whopping 114 yards per game so far this season, while hauling in at 228 total yards. So let's take a look a little bit offensively for Perry. They have a couple standout wide receivers as well in Cade Berger and Hunter Martinez, who have each amassed over 100 yards receiving these first two games. So going over to the defensive side of the ball for the Chandler Wolves, it starts with senior offensive outside linebacker and defensive end Brandon Buckner, who has a couple of sacks in Chandler's first two games. But a most important thing is he has 7 hurries on the season. So you know what that means? That means he's always in the backfield. What are some of the keys for Perry in stopping Buckner tonight?
Honestly, stopping Buckner is all about you got to double team the man. You cannot have one man on Buckner and expect to stop him. He comes hard and he does not slow down until he gets the quarterback. And honestly, Dan White, I would not want to be him right now with Buckner on the other side of the ball.
For Perry, let's look on their side of the ball defensively. They're led by defensive lineman Cooper Scott, a sophomore defensive lineman who has 2 sacks already this year, and he's got some help behind him in standout junior linebacker Cy Hatch. Will they be up for the challenge in this high-powered Chandler offense?
Honestly, the offense for Chandler is really hard to stop. They've been just bringing it every game, and they don't slow down. We're showing why we deserve to be called the School of Champions and why we're number 1 right now, and I don't think that they're planning on giving that title up ever. So Perry is in for one game.
It will be a definite showdown here in Chandler, Arizona. They have launched the smoke. The teams are on the field as we get set here to kick off, as the officials are coming to midfield and their captains are going to come forward and do the coin toss. We are less than 20 seconds away from kickoff. A beautiful night here in downtown Chandler. You can start feeling the night's cooling off after being 100 degrees today here in Arizona. It is a theme of pink out here at the stadium for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And now Chandler is taking the sideline, and the captains are now coming to the center of the field as we get ready for the coin toss.
And it looks like the captain on Chandler's side is Mikey King, the quarterback that's going to lead them. And the captain on the Perry Puma side is Cade Berger, if I pronounce that right. He's a wide receiver for Perry.
So this is the first region matchup for the Chandler Wolves on the season. Like we mentioned earlier on, they are 2-0, coming off 2 convincing victories. And it looks like Perry will be receiving the ball to begin the game. Nice sized crowd out here tonight for the Chandler Wolves. Chandler, a perennial powerhouse in 6A Premier. Is that correct? 6A Premier region?
Yes.
They are the perennial powerhouse.
And I honestly don't think for tonight's game that Perry is going to be able to play with plays out of their book, because Pinnacle had one hell of a time trying to do normal plays against Chandler, and they just don't work. So I think Perry's going to realize pretty soon that if they don't switch it up on Chandler and they just run everyday plays, it's not going to work for them. Chandler is one for adapting, and Chandler is quick to adapt, and you'll see that in this game here.
As we get set here for kickoff, so the teams line up, and the ball is going to be placed here on the tee, and we're going to be underway in just moments.
So it's 2 and 9 back to receive.
What's that?
It's 2 and 9 back to receive for Perry.
Okay. And we are underway. And we'll get the touchback as the kick went into the end zone, and Perry will start from the 20-yard line.
So do you have any predictions for this game?
Well, from what I've read and seen, I believe that Chandler is the more dominant team at this point in the season, but that can always sometimes be a scary thing because you don't want to overlook an opponent and want to have a letdown. So they definitely need to keep the pedal down, but I do think Chandler should win this game convincingly.
See, a good thing about Chandler is they're not a lot of words, a lot of action. They let their action do the talking, and you see that with Pinnacle last week, 64-0. I think Chandler's going to show them why they deserve to be called the best.
All right, 1st and 10 for Perry. They try to run to the right side and lose a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. Just underway here at Chandler High School. Perry with the ball. 2nd down and 10. Perry lining up in the shotgun. Quick pass to the wide out. And a good, solid hit. Probably a pickup of about 3 yards, so we're going to go to a 3rd and about 7.
And I believe that hit was by Dylan Murphy.
Perry going with the no huddle early on here. Lining up for the 3rd and 9 to be exact. Again in the shotgun, 3 wide. And some serious pressure by Chandler, but they're able to dump it off and pick up the 1st down.
And that pressure was from Buckner, so like I said, you can't have one man on Buckner and expect to stop him. He's going to be on the quarterback's tail the whole entire game.
Yeah, we did talk about that in the pregame show where Buckner is definitely, he's already had 7 hurries this year, now make that 8 hurries on the season. So definitely going to be a problem for Perry, but yet they made a great adaptation to dump the ball off quickly and be able to pick up the 1st down, and they are on their own 37-yard line as we go 1st and 10 for Perry. Dane White back to pass once again, fires it in and just gets it into the wide receiver to pick up another 1st down close to the 50-yard line, tackled by 2 Chandler Wolves defenders on the play. So they pick up another 1st down and keep this drive going.
It looks like one of those people on the tackles was Contrell Williams Jr., and he's the safety for Chandler, and he's showing that he's one of the best safeties out there. Contrell is someone that I honestly wouldn't want in the backfield if I was the quarterback, just because of how fast and agile he is and how great he adapts.
And there is that pressure by the Chandler Wolves as White goes down quickly, and there was a blitz by the Chandler Wolves, and that will be a loss of about 4 yards. So there you see that Chandler defense coming through with that terrific pressure that they so often put on the quarterbacks.
And that looks like that was a sack by Hank Pepper.
So it'll be 2nd and 14. The drive now is moving backwards for Perry.
I think Perry's mental game here is to start picking up momentum with easy, simple yards. But with Buckner and Zion both on the opposite side of the ball of you, I honestly wouldn't want that, especially because they're coming from both sides. It's just going to be hard to get both of them. And you have people like Hank Pepper right there who are someone that you wouldn't really expect to be there. And it's just showing why Chandler's defense is one of the best, because no matter where you are on the ball, you're going to get sacked.
So we have a early timeout here. I believe it was called by Perry. So we get a stoppage in play as the drive. When we come back, it'll be 2nd and 14 for Perry.
Huh? Garrettson. Rick Garrettson. Yeah, up here.
Rick Garrettson talking with his defensive troops here before we come out of the Perry timeout. And here we go, 2nd and 14. White again into the shotgun. 2 receivers wide. We got some movement, and I believe that's going to be offsides by Chandler unless they were drawn off. But I didn't see any movement on the offensive line, so I think that's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Chandler Wolves, and we should have 2nd and 9. Here we go on 2nd down after the Chandler penalty. White once again in the shotgun. Got a man in motion over to the left side. White rolling left, fires to the wide receiver, picks up about 6 yards, gets close to the first down, probably 2 yards shy. So we're going to have a 3rd and short coming up here.
And it looks like tonight Perry's main quarterback is Vito Tooth, if I said that correct, who is, I believe he's a senior.
So we're going to have that 3rd and short with 8 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Once again, a roll to the right side on the pass, and it looks like it is going to be incomplete. So it looks like Perry is doing a lot of movement at the quarterback position and rolling them out, rolling them right, rolling them left to try to avoid some of that Chandler pressure.
Yeah, it looks like Perry's going with a lot of quick plays. They're not giving Chandler a lot of time to actually get to the quarterback. They're trying to get rid of the ball as fast as they can, because if you don't get rid of the ball fast, you're going to have someone on Chandler's defense in front of you, and it's not going to be a pretty story.
So we've got Perry going for it here on 4th and 2 on the Chandler 43-yard line. So right away, Perry is going to try to continue this drive, but not before we get another timeout early on. So we don't know if Perry is going to talk this over and maybe come out and punt the ball, or if they're still going to go for it. Nonetheless, Chandler will be up for the challenge.
And I see a complete difference with Chandler and Perry and Pinnacle's offensive, because Perry is going for a lot of fast plays, while Pinnacle try to take their time with plays, get it down the field. And as you can tell with their defense, it wouldn't work for Pinnacle. So I think the Pumas saw that, adjusted to it, and I think even though we are Chandler, they are doing a great job adjusting to the defense. But let's just see if Chandler's defense could adjust to the new type of environment that the offense is bringing.
So Chip Perry now breaking huddle and from the sideline, and they are going for it here on 4th down. Once again in the shotgun. They have 4 receivers wide. Fake draw and a fake run, and that's going nowhere. They actually lost probably 2 or 3 yards on the play, so Chandler is going to take over early on downs. Quite a gamble by Perry, and didn't look like a very well organized play. Didn't know if there was some miscommunication there in the backfield.
It was Buckner. It was Buckner.
And Buckner making the outstanding play, busting through the line. And like we said, once again, he's just going to be a huge factor in this game.
And I do believe Buckner is looking at or committed to Oregon, but I can't confirm that for you.
Well, they're going to get a good one if he is.
Yeah.
So this is the first time now we get to see the Chandler Wolves take over from their own 47-yard line. They, too, come out in the shotgun, fake handoff. Throws a little pass in the slot, easily picks up a first down to the Perry 40-yard line. Good pass there by Mikey Keene.
And then Eli ran the ball. It was Eli, yeah.
All right. Once again, came back to pass, finds the wide receiver. Down to the 30-yard line, close to the first down. I think he's going to be just a little bit short. So
It
we're going to
looks
have second and short.
That pass was to Jalen Richmond, if I said that correct.
Chandler quickly up to the line here on a second and short in the shotgun. Another flip to
So no, Quadrant Adams or something like that. I don't know.
So Quadrant Adams picks up the first down, and Chandler continues to move the ball. We're down to the 22-yard line of Perry. Once again, back to pass, firing to the far sideline, picking up the first down, getting down inside the 10-yard line of Perry. So Chandler quickly moving the ball down the field here. Keon Grays with the reception there. Once again, Chandler lines up quickly. They have 4 wide, 3 off to the left side. Keene hands it off. Runs it to the right side, down inside the 5-yard line, close to the goal line. So we're going to have a second and goal for the Chandler Wolves coming up.
And that handoff was to Nicholas Nesbitt.
They're using a variety of players on this drive here.
Yeah, I think Chandler's run offense is really strong because no matter who they switch it to, they're going to give it their all and they're going to push through the defense.
So Chandler once again lining up in the shotgun position. Inside handoff, easily scoring the touchdown. Chandler is going to take an early 7-0 lead.
It was Nicholas again.
Once again, Nicholas with the carry into the end zone from 2 yards out. Chandler, no problem at all with that drive. Started with stopping Perry on that 4th down play, and they easily marched down the field for the touchdown. And if this extra point is in, Chandler will take a early 7-0 lead. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So Chandler is up 7-0 here in the first quarter with 6 minutes and 34 seconds to go. And Perry will see what they can do on their second drive. That looked pretty easy for Chandler on that drive.
Yeah, Chandler is really well-rounded, so they can run the ball, they could throw the ball. No matter what, it's going to be very hard to stop them on that offense. And that's what I was talking about. If you don't bring your all defense-wise to Chandler, you're not going to come home with a win.
Yeah, they definitely mixed it up very well using different running backs with the pass and the run game.
Yeah, so like with Chandler, with their running backs, they can switch to anyone because if you're on this Chandler field wearing the Chandler uniform, you better want to play. And that's what I think a mindset that Chandler coaches have done great to get into the players. And the players reflect that well, that they want to be here and they want to play and they want to excel. And they want to show why we are the best.
They definitely are one of the best, for sure. Making it look easy on their first drive of the evening. Chandler setting to kick off. Back to receive. This time we're going to get a return. Return man getting it up near the 20-yard line, probably about the 19, just short of it, about to be about the 19-yard line, and that's where the Prairie Pumas will take over on their second drive. So it'll be first down and 10 for the Prairie Pumas.
So let's see what Perry switches up on this drive. Let's see if they switch up anything or if they keep going with the quick plays to see if they can get slipped through Chandler's iron wall, is what I'd like to call it.
They are continuing the shotgun. This time they hand off inside, and it's just a slugfest inside there, and Perry picks up probably about 5 yards, so we're going to have a 2nd and 5.
Dude, what do you think I am, Superwoman? Sports360az.com.
We have a unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Chandler Wolves. I didn't really catch what happened there. But that's going to be a 15-yard penalty and a first down for the Perry Pumas. You definitely don't want to give a team that's down any opportunities like that or chances to keep their drive going. So definitely the first negative of the night for the Chandler Wolves. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line of Perry. Fake handoff inside. We have a ball loose. It is a fumble, and Chandler recovers. So they quickly atone for the unsportsmanlike penalty. Quarterback rolled outside, and he was quickly pursued and stripped of the ball. Chandler was quick to pounce on it, and they will take over inside the 35-yard line of Perry. So once again, a great field position for this drive.
And it looks like that ball was forced out by Hank Pepper again, and we saw him earlier with the sack, and it was picked up by Zion.
So once again, let's see if Chandler can take advantage of the Perry mistake from the Perry 33-yard line. Once again, a handoff to the left side. Eli Sanders running it down inside the 30. Picks up about 6, so it'll be a 2nd and 4. Second down. Once again, Keem back to pass. He fires quickly over the middle, finds his receiver, who gets inside the 10-yard line, and Chandler wasting no time and moving the ball. So it'll be 1st and goal for the Chandler Wolves. And Perry's really got to do something here, Clay.
Yeah, and I think that ball was picked up by Jalen Richmond, who we've also seen earlier in the play. Like I said, Chandler's offense is really well-rounded. Sorry about that. And like you see, no matter if it's running or if it's throwing, Chandler's just going to get the ball in front of him.
Yep, and they run it down on 1st and goal down to the 2-yard line. So once again, knocking on the door to try to punch it in here and take an early 14-0 lead, and they're wasting no time lining up again in the shotgun. They've got 3 wide. The handoff inside. Sanders once again with the carry, in for the score. The Chandler Wolves quickly up 14-0 here in the first quarter with 4 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the quarter. So Chandler does take advantage of the Perry turnover, and with the extra point, we'll put them up by 2 scores. At this point in the Perry sideline, what are you thinking? What kind of adjustments can you make here?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I think that they would maybe try to switch it up and not have as many fast plays, because with the fast plays, they do tend to mess up just because of they're moving so fast. Maybe I would switch it to not super long plays, but a little like medium, maybe leave the ball in the pocket for at most 3 seconds and try to get rid of it as fast as you can without making it too quick to where your players tend to fumble. But I do feel like there's a lot of nerves on the Perry side just because of the rep that Chandler has, and them coming off of a 64-0 win and having 14-0 first quarter, which only looks about 11 minutes into the game. So I think there's a lot of nerves that Perry needs to get over if they want to get into this game.
Chandler definitely carrying over the offensive momentum that they had from last week, and if Perry doesn't get their act together, this is going to get ugly really quick. So let's see what they can do on this drive and see if they can kind of stabilize some things and get back on track. But definitely Chandler looking impressive and looking like the defending champs tonight. they definitely came to play. Chandler with the kickoff, and that looks like it's going to bounce into the end zone for the touchback. So Perry will take over.
So are you seeing any flaws in Chandler's defense or offense?
Other than the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I do not. They've been in the backfield multiple times already early on. So I don't think I see many flaws defensively. And offensively, they've just been a complete machine and taking advantage of the Chandler defensive turnover. So here we go on 1st and 10. Perry trying to run it up the middle and going absolutely nowhere. Stonewalled. May have lost a yard or two. So we should have 2nd down and 12.
I didn't see who he's wrapped up by. I think Chandler has a very strong run defense. I don't think that a lot of running backs have actually gotten through Chandler's defense. And I think if they do, I haven't seen a running back score on Chandler since, I don't want to say any time this year. So I'm thinking Perry might want to switch it up on the running. And if they are going to run, they need to do some kind of trick play. Like that, for example, he got wrapped up right away. I think it's going to be hard for any running back to get through that Chandler defense, especially with Buckner and Zion both on the ball.
Yeah, they did try. They have been trying to attack the middle on these last 2 plays and pretty much going nowhere. So, but you have seen the quarterback stand in the pocket more so far. Early on, they were trying to roll them out to the right and to the left with no success. So they're trying to slow and stabilize things down, but that Chandler defense just simply is not giving in.
I think their mindset behind stopping the rolling out is when you roll him out, there's less blockers to keep him safe. So I think they're trying to keep him in the middle to keep the blockers there, trying to keep Chandler out of the backfield, and I honestly don't think it's going to work for too long.
So here's a 3rd down and 11. Just as we say, they roll to the right, but quickly wrapped up, gang tackled by several Chandler Wolves. And that's going to bring up 4th down and a punt situation for Perry. So they will go nowhere on their 3rd drive of the evening. And they're going to give that vaunted Chandler offense the ball once again.
And this is like I said earlier on when the stream first started. You know, it's like Perry can't run every day by the book plays against Chandler and expect him to work. Chandler's seen everything. Chandler's played against a bunch of different teams with different play styles. And I think Chandler's learned from that, adapted to that, and the coaches are doing a great job on keeping Chandler aggressive and making sure everyone is doing their part.
So here's the punt fielded back at the 40-yard line. Run up to the 50 for a 10-yard gain. We do have a flag down here. We're going to see what that's about. But it will be 1st down, Chandler. It just depends on who the penalty is on. The officials converge around the 50-yard line, discussing the infraction. It will be 1st and 10, Chandler. It just depends on from what yard line is. They are waving off the flag. So there will be no infraction, and the Chandler Wolves will take over at the Perry 48-yard line.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let's see if Perry's defense actually makes any adaptations to Chandler. It looks like they're starting to play a little bit more zone coverage and see if...
This time King going deep. He's got a man wide open. And they are going to score once again in the 1st quarter, 20-0. Chandler Wolves, and that was a beautiful pass by Keene right there.
Yeah, and just as I was talking about zone coverage, they do that, and that was caught and scored by Jalen Richmond, who we've also seen a lot of this game. So I think with Chandler's defense, you know, they have an amazing quarterback with Mikey. They got amazing runners with Eli and Nicholas, and they have some amazing wide receivers with Jalen and Keon. So it's like, I don't think Perry can do a whole lot because they can't cover everyone on the field.
Well, you talked too about Perry going to that zone defense, and it didn't look like he had any help deep from the safeties. It was just a blown coverage, wide open, and Keene found him easily. Just floated the ball up there, and with the extra point being good, it is now 21-0 Chandler in the first quarter.
And you would think that Chandler or Perry would start to, get a little nervous, get a little, I would say, discouraged on their sidelines. Being 21-0 in this still the first quarter, only about 13 minutes into the game. So I wonder if the coaches are going to have a little talk with Perry, telling him, you guys got to keep it in here, because it looks like when they're running on the field that Perry is just not as encouraged as they should be to keep in this game.
And there definitely is a lot of football yet left to play, so there is time for Perry to make a little bit of noise and try to climb and claw back into this game, but it has been a tough task for them this far as they get set to take the ball for the fourth time this evening as Chandler gets set to kick off, leading 21-0 here in the first quarter with just over 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, and with making a lot of noise on Perry's side, I don't think Chandler's defense nor offense is giving him a whole lot of chances to do that. There hasn't been a whole lot of happening on Perry's side of the ball with, Chandler sacking him being in the backfield. There has been some quick passes that have gotten through Chandler, but nothing that is giving the Chandler or the Perry crowd a chance to actually, show their support.
They definitely traveled well. They've got a lot of fans on their side of the ball, but definitely are disappointed here early on, falling down 21-0 in the first quarter. But like we said, plenty of football left to play, so let's see what Perry can do here on their fourth drive of the evening. First and 10 from the 20-yard line. Once again, a handoff inside. Just a lot of pushing and shoving, moving the pile. Probably gained about 5 yards on that play, so it'll be a 2nd and 5. Once again, Perry trying to attack the middle of that Chandler defense, and they just simply are not interested in budging tonight.
And it looks like that ball carry was by Peyton Day on Perry's side.
It will be actually 2nd and 4 with just over a minute to go here in the first quarter play. Once again from the shotgun position. And once again trying to run up the middle. And they gain a few yards here, close to the first down.
And it looks like that ball run was by Peyton Day again. And honestly, on that play, it kind of looked like he ran into a wall there, just running into the back of his linebackers and not really going anywhere with that. So let's see if Perry switches it up from running down the middle, if they're going to keep pushing it through.
It is 3rd and short, about a 3rd and 1 here from Perry's own 29-yard line. They once line up again in the I formation with 2 wide receivers out. And they do go right back up the middle. And they are awful close to the first down. And they are moving the chains, so Perry does pick up the first down to keep this drive alive with just over 30 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Let's see if Perry decides to run a play here before the end of the quarter. They technically don't have to.
It looks like this will be the last play of the first quarter.
Yep, they are calling it. So we are going to go into the second quarter with Chandler Wolves a dominating performance early on, leading 21-0 from Chandler High School. The Chandler Wolves 21, the Perry Pumas nothing. I want her to get it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wait, are our cameras off? Are these off? Now they are. Yeah, I've been drinking that the whole time. I back up and drink it.
See how many times does she go up this ladder?
Oh man. It looks like it's gonna be another killing. 21-0 in the first
Oh,
quarter.
I know. You guys are looking good for sure.
Yeah.
So is this it's a shortened season this year, or
I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think the
it's
season
full.
started when it was supposed to.
check 1 2 3.
You guys can take break.
Okay.
Cool. You want pizza?
Have you got one? Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we are back here at Chandler High School. We are at 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Perry took their first drive and really went nowhere and just punted to the Chandler Wolves. It is 21-0 Chandler as they take over on their own 22-yard line. This would be the worst field position that they've started with this evening. So let's see if they can put the drive together. Once again, operating out of the shotgun, hand off up the middle. And we've got daylight. He could go all the way. Eli Sanders once again with the carry. He goes all the way in for the score. Chandler is now up 27-0. Very little resistance. What a great move there at the line of scrimmage by Sanders.
Yeah, and like you said, that was their worst starting field, where the ball was, and they made it work without a hitch. They made it look easy, honestly. So it looks like Perry isn't switching up a whole lot, and I don't think that's going to work for him. And I think hopefully the coaches on Perry's side start to realize that. And Eli's showing why he's one of the best. Eli is committed. I don't remember where he's committed. Is it Dodge? I don't know.
Nonetheless, he goes 78 yards on the run for the score. It was quite the play as well. I mean, he had a lot of moves there at the line, cut back twice, and then he just found a lot of daylight, and nobody could catch him as he took it all the way in for the touchdown. Chandler taking the 28-0 lead with 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter. The Chandler faithful definitely enjoying the night as they see their Chandler Wolves in a dominating performance right now. And it doesn't seem like they're ready to let up at all. They're letting both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. So Chandler getting set to kick off, and Perry going to try it one more time here to see if they can actually get some positive yardage and move it into Chandler territory. Ten minutes and 4 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The kickoff is on its way. And we're going to have a touchback, so Perry will start from their own 20-yard line.
So what are your thoughts? What do you think Perry can switch up to start scoring the ball here, getting better field
I honestly think at this point, I mean, they've tried to run up the middle. They've tried movement. I haven't seen them take any shots downfield. At least try to catch the Chandler defense off guard and maybe run some fly routes down the side or run some seam routes. Try to hit some receivers and pick up some big chunks of yards because they need some scores quickly to try to get back into this game.
Yeah, I think Perry's going to have to get super creative to stay in this game. I think they're going to have to run some risky plays that they normally wouldn't run, and that's just to stay in the game, let alone the defense is going to have to, step up and stop Chandler's offense, which is one task.
And once again, they try the handoff, and it goes absolutely nowhere, a loss of a yard or two. So it will be second down for the Perry Pumas as Chandler's defense continues to remain dominant. But like you said, they definitely have to get a little bit creative and take some chances and do things that they normally would not do because obviously what they are doing now is not working for them. Second down out of the shotgun, fake handoff, quarterback keeper. He scoots up the middle and gets close to the first down. They are moving the chains, so Perry does pick up the first down. And that was a good fake in the backfield.
Yeah, I think that was something that we said, they got a little creative with that one, and as you can tell, it started to work for them. So I wonder if the coaches are going to notice that and see, maybe we'll see more creative plays on Perry's side of the ball.
First and 10 for Perry on the 35-yard line, or the 30-yard line. Once again, back to pass.
And it looks like Vito Tooth, if I said that right, throws away from his intended target, who was Peyton Day.
So it'll be second and 10 for Perry. Just under 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It is 28-0 Hamilton, or Chandler. Well, I shouldn't have said that, right?
Yeah.
That's not a mistake you want to make.
I wonder if Vito on Perry's side of the ball is starting to get a little frustrated with how little the ball is being moved on their side.
Once again, he's back to pass, and it looks like there was miscommunication in the backfield as Chandler got in there and blew up the play once again. That's going to be a loss of at least 5 yards. So it'll be a third and long for Perry.
It looks like he got hit as soon as the ball was handed to him. He didn't have any time to react or move.
Yeah, it just looks like there's some confusion and delay also in the Perry backfield. But Chandler is definitely putting the pressure on, just busting through the line pretty easily, causing all kinds of havoc in the backfield for Perry. We're at third and 14. For the Perry Pumas.
And this is like what I said with the mindset of Perry. It looks like they're getting a little discouraged. Their body isn't looks a little flappy. It looks like they're going to go for the roll, and he gets sacked.
Yep, they did try the rollout. He was looking downfield, but there was just nothing there, and once again wrapped up. And once again, Perry is going to have to punt the ball away on an unsuccessful drive. Chandler holding up strong once again, and they're definitely going to get good field position here after this punt. Seven minutes and 34 seconds to go here in the second quarter, with Chandler leading 28-0. The punt is away. Angled to the left-hand side, fielded by the Chandler returner, and taken up to the 41-yard line of Chandler, and that's where they'll start their drive. And let's see if they can make quick work again of the Perry defense and strike for another quick score.
And that was Cantrell Williams on the field return, and it looks like he was wrapped up as soon as he grabbed the ball.
Good coverage downfield by the Perry Pumas on that play.
Looks like Mikey King is out there again with not Eli, but it is Nicholas Nesbitt.
Keen back to pass and finds the receiver over to the right-hand side. And once again, lots of running room as he scampers across midfield down into Perry territory, down to the 29-yard line of Perry. Once again, a big play, but we do have a flag, and I believe this one is coming back.
So it looks like Chandler's biggest flaws right now and their mistakes are just simple flags, which those could be taken out on practice, you know. But I think Chandler's looking pretty solid offense and defensively. And I think Perry is getting a little discouraged with how one-sided this game is. So I think Perry needs to get into a mindset of we need to go hard, because I don't think Perry is bringing their best right now.
Helped out there by the flag for sure, so it's going to be 1st and 17 for Chandler. Now running up the right-hand side, a couple good hits, but they're going to pick up the first down once again. So they make quick work of and negate that mistake that they had. Crossing midfield back into Perry territory, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Wolves.
And it looks like that running drive was by Nicholas Nesbitt again.
Keen back in the shotgun once again. Hands off one more time to the right-hand side. And the running back stumbles and falls, but gets close to the 25-yard line. And once again, there is a flag on the play. And it's going to be holding on Chandler. So right now, Chandler is self-inflicting their own wounds.
So it looks like Chandler's biggest mistakes right now are on their own flags. You know, they're bringing their own players back. It doesn't look like Perry's doing a whole lot of that, and I think the Perry coaches are pretty glad for that. But I think Perry needs to start stepping it up and start bringing Chandler back themselves, because I don't think the ball has gone backwards on Chandler's offensively yet.
Definitely been moving the ball quite with ease. Chandler's been able to negate their mistakes. Keen back to pass. He's got a receiver downfield, finds one wide open. Once again,
It was Kion.
it's Kion Graves with the catch inside the Perry 10-yard line. So like you said, Chandler is inflicting their own pain by causing all those penalties, but they are negating those awful quick on the next play by picking up large chunks of yardage, and this time getting down inside the Perry 10-yard line and looking to score here once again. Here's a handoff going left and then cuts back up the middle. Not much gain there, maybe 3 or 4 yards.
And it looks like Perry's side of the stands have been really quiet recently, with not a whole lot to cheer about with Perry on Perry's side, because the offense isn't doing too well on stopping the defense, and the defense is, or on scoring, and the defense isn't doing too well on stopping the offense.
Just under 6 minutes to go here in the second quarter before halftime. 2nd and 5 for the Chandler Wolves. Once again, Keene in the shotgun formation. We have a lovely post right in the way of our view of the field, but Keene back to pass, and he finds the receiver for the touchdown. Fireworks go off once again for Chandler as they're up 34-0.
I think Chandler High School is glad to have sports back because we do have a live DJ here with looks like a fireworks stand there or sparklers going off.
It is good to see after the long layoff and all the uncertainty to have a high school football back, and definitely here at Chandler especially, where like we've talked about, they're a perennial powerhouse. And their fans are definitely excited to be back in the stands. We're excited to have football. It's a beautiful Arizona fall evening, and the Chandler Wolves out of 35-0 lead. What could be better for the Chandler Wolves right now?
So it looks like Perry's having short huddles. They're not really discussing a whole lot, which isn't great for them, seeing that they need to start fixing things and start adjusting to Chandler, and they're not doing a whole lot of that. It seems like they're running the same plays that they are, and it's just not working for them. So I think that they need to get a little bit more creative if the coaches have that creativity going for them. So who's back to receive? Number 9 and 8 or 2? Peyton Day and Carter Brown.
Chandler once again kicking off to Perry, and it's right at the 1 yard line. We're going to have a return here, and a big hit at the 20 yard line, and that's where Perry will take over once again with 5 minutes and 29 seconds to go here in the second quarter, with Chandler leading 35-0.
So I just got word that Eli Sanders is committed to Boise State Broncos.
Well, they're definitely going to get a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, Eli makes running this ball look easy.
He's had a couple explosive runs and a long touchdown run for 78 yards that gave Chandler a 28-0 lead, and they now lead 35-0. Perry once again handing the ball off to the inside. Picked up a few yards there, close to the first down.
Yeah, because I got a text. No, like, because I said he was committed. I said he was committed, but I didn't know where. And the person running the live stream is interrupting us.
Big thanks to Glenda Skalitsky for putting this whole broadcast together. She's done a fantastic job putting this production crew together. And she's working hard currently. We have a first down for Perry. From their own 34-yard line, back to handoff, and once again picking up a decent chunk of yards. Perry's shown a little bit of life running the ball here. Getting close to another first down. It'll be 2nd and 5 as the clock continues to tick down here in the second quarter, nearing the 4-minute mark. Perry taking their time and running this play, the shotgun. Perry going up the middle once again, picking up the first down. And they are in. Did they cross the 50? Nope, they're right at the 49-yard line, so they're knocking on the door of getting into Chandler territory.
And it looks like that run was by Nathaniel Miles on Perry's side.
So Perry's staying true to their game and continuing to run it right at Chandler. This drive, they're finding a little bit more success, having picked up 3 consecutive first downs. Once again in the shotgun. The handoff goes right. A little scamper close down to the first down marker. That was Cade Berger for the pickup. And I believe it'll be 2nd and 1. And Chandler's going to take a timeout here, which is probably a good call. They've been giving up some pretty big runs here as Perry finally moves into Chandler territory. And it will be 2nd and 1. So maybe this is just a timeout to have Chandler's defense catch their breath a little bit.
Yeah, I think Perry's been running it up the middle a lot, and I think they're starting to do a little bit better on making damage in that hole, in that pocket. And they're starting to prove it with how they're running this ball.
Nonetheless, Chandler has to be happy with their performance both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, like we've talked about. Couple penalties, but they've been able to erase those with big plays and big drives, leading 35-0 here in the second quarter at Chandler High School. The band is definitely lively. The cheerleaders are out. And once again, it is just a fantastic evening here for football in Chandler. Home of the defending state champion Chandler Wolves. Teams are back now out on the field. Just under 3 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and Perry finally moving the ball a little bit. Let's see what they can do on 2nd and short. Man in motion. Back to pass in the shotgun. Throwing deep. And they found a man for the completion, and this will definitely be the deepest that Perry has gotten into Chandler territory. And like we talked about, they needed to take some shots down the field. That was Cade Berger once again on the reception. Great catch because he got hit really hard. Good job for him holding on to the ball.
Yeah, and we've seen him actually a lot this game. You know, Cade's been doing his best to keep Perry in this game, and I think he's definitely giving a lot of effort towards that, and it's really reflecting right now.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see them drop back and pass. They've been so successful with the run here on this drive, but that's what they need to do some of those unexpected things that we talked about earlier in the broadcast. So 1st and 10. Perry once again now back to the run, and once again picking up about 9 yards, and they're getting close to the first down marker once again, marching towards the goal line. Definitely their best drive of the evening.
And it looks like the momentum is starting to switch on the ball. I see a lot of the Chandler stands looks quiet. You know, there's not a whole lot to cheer about for Chandler's side in this drive, of course, because, you know, Chandler still is up 35-0. But Perry is definitely starting to push the ball through they're starting to find better holes in the defense, and I think they're starting to
Quarterback keeper this time, and going right up the middle down to the 1-yard line, almost punching it across the goal line. But we're going to have a 1st and goal for the Perry Pumas as they make it on the board here shortly. Chandler showing little resistance on this drive, and this is the most tired that they've looked from a defensive standpoint. Just now going under 2 minutes in the second quarter. 35-0 Chandler. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for Perry. Quarterback rolling left, tries to pass. That was almost intercepted.
I think this is the momentum switch that Perry needed to get back into this game. And I think that they need to hold on to this and take advantage of it while they can. And they're doing a great job on doing that.
I'm a little surprised they rolled out the pass. They've been so successful with the run. Just keep them off balance and try to punch this thing in and get the score right here before halftime and gain a little bit of momentum and confidence. That's definitely what they need. So let's see what they do here on 2nd down and goal from the 2-yard line. We've got a flag down. Let's see what the infraction is. Didn't hear the penalty, but it is on the Chandler Wolves, so it will be half the distance to the goal line. 2nd down and 1 for the Perry Pumas, as they're closest they've been all game long. A quarterback keeper trying to sneak it in. Did he get there? And the quarterback is stopped just short of the end zone. So we're going to have 3rd and goal.
And it looks like there was a flag thrown on the play. There was some words exchanged between the ref and one of the players.
That is the 2nd unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Wolves. Coach cannot be happy about something like that. That's going to be an automatic 1st down. They had them stopped at the goal line. It was going to be a 3rd down and goal, but now they give Perry a new fresh set of downs with still 1:25 to go, plenty of time. So let's see if Perry can take advantage of it. But that is something that just simply cannot be tolerated. Another unsportsmanlike conduct penalty by the Chandler defense.
Yeah, and it looks like after last play, after the quarterback got sacked, the person who got the unsportsmanlike conduct did push the quarterback after he took him down.
Perry trying to run it back up the middle, but he is denied. No touchdown signal just yet, and it looks like we're going to have a 2nd and goal. Clock still running, approaching 1 minute to go here in the 2nd quarter.
It's 4th down.
Huh?
4th down.
Did they get a 1st down on the unsportsmanlike?
I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah, why wouldn't you get
Maybe they waived
an
it.
automatic 1st down?
Maybe they waived it for the yards.
All right.
I guess. So it looks like it is going to be 4th down. It looks like they didn't get the 1st down with that unsportsmanlike conduct.
Why did they get an automatic 1st down on unsportsmanlike? They got an unsportsmanlike penalty. They got an automatic 1st down.
So it looks like Perry is trying to debate on if they should just go for the 3 or go for the touchdown.
I think at this point they need a touchdown, and I think that would do a world of good for their confidence. But maybe to get points on the board before going here to the halftime would do just the same. To get that 0 off the board would feel good for the Perry Pumas, but they took a timeout, and they're discussing that right now. It is 4th, and the ball is literally on the goal line, so it'll be interesting to see what they do here. And they've been so successful with the run on this drive. It's like you'd think that they could just hand it off to up the middle and try to bash this thing in, but Perry is coming out, looking to run the play on 4th down.
It looks like they don't have a running back with a quarterback, so it looks like they're either going to do a quarterback sneak.
Yep. Quarterback sneak, and there is a scrum at the middle. Did it get in?
He did not.
They did not. Wow. And the Chandler faithful. This is the loudest I think they've seen him as they make the goal line stand. I mean, it was literally 4th and inches, and Perry simply could not push it in. That is simply disheartening for them, but that is definitely the loudest that the Chandler crowd has been on that goal line stand. That's quite impressive to overcome the unsportsmanlike penalty and be able to keep Perry out of the end zone. So it is still 35 to nothing. Chandler is going to be shoved way back, though, into their own right next to their own goal line. So let's see how they handle this with 21 seconds to go. They don't want to make any mistakes and give Perry any kind of momentum going into halftime.
Yeah, and if I was Perry there, I probably would have just gone for the points because, you know, them getting stopped like that just absolutely destroys any confidence that they had going into that drive.
Chandler just running the ball. Eli Sanders gives them a little bit of breathing room, but I think that's going to be it for this quarter, as they're going to run out the clock, and it's going to be 35 to nothing. Chandler heading into halftime. We'll be back for the second half of play here at Chandler High School.
And welcome back as we start off the second half at Chandler High School with Chandler leading 35-0. And I do believe Chandler will be receiving the ball after they do their quick warm-ups. So what are you expecting to happen in the second half?
Well, I would think there's going to be a lot more of the same from Chandler unless Perry puts a stop to their high-scoring offense. I mean, they're, 5 for 5 on their drive so far in this game, and I've seen little resistance from Perry on the defensive side of the ball, making a lot of mental errors and just a lot of blown coverages down the field. So they definitely need to clean that up if they're looking to stop Chandler from scoring again here early on. But just an overall dominant performance by Chandler on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. They've been able to move it quite easily, especially Eli Sanders. He's had quite the game, breaking off that 78-yard run to put Chandler up 28-0 in the second quarter. And then defensively, having that defensive stand at the goal line right before half, keeping Perry out of the end zone and keeping them scoreless, definitely keeping the momentum on their side as they go here into the third quarter leading 35-0. Let's see, like you said, if Perry can get some things and do some little bit different things here in the second half and try to slowly crawl back into this game.
Yeah, and we saw with Perry's last drive that they were getting the ball through the gaps, and they were starting to get better field percentage on Chandler. So let's see if they start off with that kind of drive, or if they start off with the ones that they've had at the start of the game. And I think that Perry in the locker room talked about how they were making a lot of mental mistakes and how they need to get into this game. And Chandler's locker room probably was, I would say, a little praise and a little talking about how they were also making mental mistakes on their flags, because the flags, they were really hurting themselves all of the last two quarters. So I think if Chandler could pick up their flag, start making so many flags happen, then I think that they're going to be solid.
Yeah.
All right, it looks like we got 33 seconds till kickoff.
Yeah, you talked about those penalties. It definitely can be cleaned up, and the ones that are the most disappointing were those unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Those things definitely can't happen, especially as you get later into the season. You're definitely going to need to be more disciplined as play intensifies and the stakes are raised. You definitely can't make those kind of errors. So definitely now is the time to clean those up when you have this kind of lead, and work on those type of things. And let's see if they can do that and keep their composure in the second half.
Yeah, and you heard me talk at the start of the stream about how Chandler lets their actions doing the talk. But it looks like with some of those flags that they were actually getting verbal with them. And I think Chandler needs to switch back to letting them scoring and them absolutely just stopping Perry do all the talking. And so at the end of the day, no matter what Perry says, or if Perry says anything, Chandler can say that, well, we took you to 35-0 and we're going to keep going hard.
One interesting thing to note here, too, is that once the score reaches 42-0, there is a running clock in high school football. So if Chandler can score here, we will have a continuous clock, which will make the game go much faster.
And it looks like we have Nicholas Nesbitt, I believe, back to receive for Chandler. And we are off. It looks to be an onside kick, but Chandler does pick it up.
Well, like you said, Perry, to try to get back into this game, does have to do some unconventional things and try to catch the Chandler special teams off guard, but they were up to the task, picking up on that quite quickly, and they'll take over from their own 43-yard line to start the second half here. But Perry definitely has to try some unconventional things to try to catch Chandler off guard and try to climb and claw their way back into this game, because like we mentioned, once we get to 42-0, there is a running clock, and that means Perry will definitely be up against the clock and trying to get back into this game.
And it looks like the ball is swatted down by 47, who I believe is Herschel Hall for Perry's side.
So a good start to the third quarter for Perry, stopping Chandler on that pass play. Just looked like there was a little bit of miscommunication from the quarterback and receiver, and weren't able to connect on that one, and a good play by the defensive linebacker.
And it looks like Mikey does pass off to Adams, and Adams does pick up the first down with this.
Yep, they get down inside Perry territory once again right off the bat, and looking to score here and put themselves up 42-0.
So Chandler will be starting the ball on Perry's 46 as Mikey drops back, almost swatted down, and it is to Adams again, who looks like he picks up around 3 yards with that, which brings us to a two to
2nd and 7.
yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And it looks like a pass goes down the middle to Keon Grays. And he takes it to it looks like, I would say, the Perry's 6 or 7. It is the 6.
Keon Grays once again gets wide open and gets loose in the Perry backfield. He's able to get down inside the Perry 10-yard line. Perry has had a hard time containing him tonight, and he's just been able to find the wide open spots. And there goes Chandler again, scoring the touchdown.
And it looks like that touchdown was scored by Eli Sanders.
So with that and the extra point, Chandler will be up 42-0, and we will have that running clock that we talked about. So Chandler strikes extremely quick here in the second half, and it's more of the same. Perry is just unable to slow down the Chandler offense.
And it does look like the kick is batted down. So the point would not be counted. So it's only 41 to...
No running clock yet, so there's still time for Perry to climb back into this game. Chandler kicking off here to Perry. There we will get a return. Looks like they'll scamper out to about the 20-yard line, where Perry will take over, trailing 41-0. Just under 11 minutes to go here in the third quarter of play.
So it does look like Perry will be starting on their own 20 with this drive. And it looks like Perry is being led by Vito again. And
Yeah, he looked comfortable in the pocket there, finding the receiver, getting close to the first down.
And it was a pass to Hunter Martinez for a 7-yard pickup. So we got second down with 3 to go for Perry. But like you said, yeah, it does look like he's sitting a little bit more comfortable in that pocket. It looks like his defenders are starting to pick it up a little bit more. And it does look like he keeps the ball, but gets taken down by Zion and
Yeah, that was definitely going nowhere. Chandler's defense, like they did so much in the first half, easily sniffs out the play and the roll right and stopped it. So it will be a 3rd and 6 for Perry.
And it was Zion and Tony Brewer on that takedown.
Big 3rd down play. What a grab. One of the biggest plays from scrimmage thus far for the Perry High School. Getting into Chandler territory.
So it looks like it was Ian Nito on that reception.
So as we've talked about earlier too, they're just seeming a little bit more comfortable in the back, just standing in the backfield and passing and picking up a large chunk of yards there.
Oh.
Definitely one of the best positive plays for Perry so far this evening.
It looks like there was another flag, and it was a personal foul on Chandler High School. So
once again, yeah, that rears its ugly head, and the coaching staff for Chandler is not going to be happy about that, and that is something that they're going to need to talk about and clean up. Like we talked about, play is only going to intensify, and as the playoffs and things like that begin, you're definitely have to keep your composure in those situations and not cost your team those type of penalties. So that gives Perry even better field position starting at the Chandler 31-yard line.
I think Chandler is making the mental mistakes and giving Chandler these free yards, or giving Perry these free yards, that they shouldn't be getting. And I feel like Chandler is just causing pain to themselves at this point. And it looks like that was a pickup of 4 for the Pumas with just under 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
They went back to the run on there with some success, and that's what they did there at the end of the first half, almost scoring the touchdown. So let's see if they go back to that a little bit more and try to catch the Chandler defense off guard.
And it does look like it's a fumble by Vic, and it does look like Chandler gets it back.
Perry once again with the mental mistake there, trying to make things happen, and they're definitely pushing it and in desperation mode, trying to get some points on the board. Just simply there, the ball was knocked loose, and Chandler once again opportunistic on the defensive side of the ball, picking it up, and they will take over once again from their own 29-yard line.
And that was Hank Pepper again, who we've also seen cause another fumble in the first half of this game. So I think Hank Pepper is starting to show that he is among Zion and I forgot the other one. Showing that he is someone to look for on that defense. And it does look like a handoff for a pickup of about 8, I would say. Nicholas with that drive. So it's second down with 3 to go. But I do see the change in Perry's offense with them finding the holes and getting better field percentage against Chandler. It looks like another handoff to Nicholas as he picks up the first down and then some for another first down and 10 on the Chandler's 40.
So let's see if Chandler's in grinding out the game mode and just trying to run down the clock here as they lead 41-0. I don't think there's anything left for them to prove. So they're probably just going to try to get out of here unscathed and just keep that clock churning. As they do run once again, picking up no yardage on that play. Kept him in bounds, and that keeps the clock running like we talked about. Chandler just going to try to grind this one out, get out of here with the victory. Hopefully no more injuries.
So we got a 2nd and 10 on the Chandler's 40 still. And it does look like another run by Nicholas, and he does pick up the first down. Exactly on the 50-yard line. And Chandler does play again next week against Higley High School at Higley High School. And if you were part of Higley, what do you think you'd be looking for with this game to try to run against Chandler to try to slow down their defense or offense?
Well, they're definitely going to have to bring more pressure, I think, than Perry has done tonight. I mean, I would try a little bit of blitzes. Like you said, they've tried some zone, they've tried some man, but they're just going to have to give them a lot of different looks and try to mix things up and try to confuse that Chandler offense. And defensively, like we talked about, you're going to have to go down the field a little bit. And I think they've shown susceptibility a little bit, too, to the run, especially up the middle. If you stay committed to that, I think you can make up some yardage.
And it does look like Nicholas Nesbitt scores with a 50-yard drive. Nicholas, this is his 2nd touchdown this game, I believe. And Chandler just shows how amazing their running offense is again, with Eli scoring a 70-yard drive and Nicholas just scoring a 50-yard drive. If you were in Perry's shoes right now, how would you be looking to stop their defense or their offense?
Well, like I think we talked about, is that you definitely have to bring the pressure. I mean, whether that's through exotic blitzes or try to mix things up and like confuse or stack the line of scrimmage, especially when you know that Chandler is trying to run out the clock. Definitely stack the box with an extra linebacker, bring the safeties up, and try to stop that run, because Chandler is definitely in run the clock out mode. But that time they got through, found the hole, and were able to punch it in, and we're at 48-0 right now. So we are going to get that running clock that we talked about.
And we do have 6:31 left in this quarter, with Chandler. It looks like another sweep is going to happen tonight, as last game they did sweep Pinnacle 64-0, and they have still 1 quarter to play, and it's 48-0. I think one thing that makes Chandler's offense and defense so just great as they are is the fact that of how aggressive they are. You know, they aren't afraid to get hit, and they hit you back just as hard. So I feel like Chandler's aggressiveness is really showing that they are here to play. And it does look like it's going to be a touchback for the Pumas. So it does look like Chandler is on their way to another shutout against the Perry Pumas. And it does look like a running play up the middle. And that was by number 23, Nathaniel Miles, for a pickup of 4.
Well, Perry's definitely got to strike quick here. They're going to have to get more yardage and try for some bigger plays here because they are definitely running out of time. The clock is definitely their enemy right now, being down 48-0. Perry doesn't seem in any hurry to run a play right here.
It does look like another run up the middle. This one does not get as much yards as the last one. I think Chandler's going to start adapting to that run up the middle a little bit better. And we got a pickup of 1 on that run, so it's a 3 and 5. With 5 minutes left to go in this third quarter. Chandler's still up 48-0.
Yep, Chandler's definitely done a much better job here in the third quarter of stopping that run. And like we talked about, Perry is definitely going to have to take some shots down the field, being down this much. And once again, Chandler's defense is up to the task on a third down play, catching the quarterback and causing a 4th and 5, and Perry is going to have to punt it away once again, giving Chandler the ball back. As the clock continues to tick down here in the third quarter.
So if you're Chandler, you're feeling pretty good about this game. And if you're the Pumas, I think that you're starting to lose all encouragement in this game. But the Pumas are making some good plays. It just seems like Chandler's defense is just really overpowering them at this point. And it does look like Cantrell is back to receive. And the ball goes out on the Chandler's 40-yard line.
We are in that running clock mode, so the clock is still running. Just 3 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Chandler taking their time, coming out onto the field, breaking the huddle.
So it does look like they take out Mikey King for the game. And it does look like they're going to have their backup Cameron Beard come out as quarterback. And we do have another running play with a flag down on the play around the 40, looks like the 44-yard line.
Most likely in the area of holding. And this one is coming back 10 yards.
So it looks like we do still have Cameron Beard back along with Jeremiah Moore. And Cameron Beard does keep the ball as he gets them back up to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Cameron Beard showing some athleticism right there and a couple good moves to pick up the yardage and get them back into second and manageable.
And that was a pickup of 8 on that run. So we do have a 2nd down and 10 to go with a little over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. And the ball is handed off to Jeremiah Moore as he's wrapped up around the 51-yard line. And this is what we were talking about with Chandler's running defense or offense is just absolutely astonishing. They can bring in anyone of their running backs and they will still pick up yards, no problem. We saw it last game, and we're still seeing it this game. Looks like we do have another run by. It looks like that was a pickup of 3 with a 2nd and 7 for Chandler on the Perry's 46-yard line. With over a minute, just over a minute to go in this third quarter. And we do have an amazing running drive by Charles Enos, I believe, for the first down as he picks up around 10 yards with 33 seconds left to go in this third quarter as Chandler leads 48-0.
They're definitely winding the clock down here. They're going to have to run another play before this quarter ends.
And we do have another running play as he finds the pocket. And Cameron, it looks like that is Jeremiah Moore again. We do have 5 seconds left as he's taken down around the 13-yard line. It looks like the ball is actually on the 18-yard line. And that is the end of the third quarter. Chandler leads 48-0, and they're going to be starting off on their own 18-yard line.
You got this. Clay will take you home.
Don't want to tell her to cut the mics.
Thank you.
Cut the mic. Can you cut the mic? Can you cut the mic?
All right, and we are back with 12 minutes to start off this quarter with the fourth quarter. Chandler leading 48-0, and the ball is on the 19-yard line as we still have Cameron Beard here. And Cameron Beard does fumble the ball a little bit, but does look like he's a yard short off of that first down. And we also are joined in the box by another announcer.
Hi. I'm Helen.
All right. So it does look like Chandler is taken down as they pick up that first yard. So, Helen, what are you thinking of tonight's game? What do you think from Chandler?
From Chandler, I think that people are really proud. On the Chandler side, of course, maybe not Perry, but I think it's expected that they're doing well.
All right, so it does look like Chandler is going to be starting off on the 5-yard line with 1:05 to go. As Cameron takes this, he does fumble the snap. And he's going to run it. And he makes it up by scoring the ball. That was an amazing recovery from that misplaced snap. That was a mental mistake on Chandler, which brings them to 54-0 as Cameron does score that. So what are you seeing on defensively with Chandler?
Defensively, I mean, they're doing great. Yeah, having clean runs.
All right. So it does look like Chandler is going for the extra point. And Chandler is absolutely blowing out this game like they did last week. As the point is good, which brings them to 55-0 with 10:41 left in the fourth quarter. Chandler does play Higley High School next week at Higley High School at 6. And the student section of the bleachers is alive for Chandler tonight, along with the cheerleaders and the live DJ, as Chandler just absolutely demolishes the field. And it does look like we have new people on Perry's side to receive the ball, with that being Ethan Peterson and Preston. And the ball is going to Preston, as he is going to take it. And he is brought down around the 11-yard line. So what are you seeing from Chandler that Perry isn't quite reflecting as well?
They're not reflecting as fast that they catch people. I think that Chandler is always on their tail, unlike Perry.
So it does look like the Perry will be starting off on their own 13-yard line, sorry, with just over 10 minutes left in this fourth quarter. As it does look like Chandler will be bringing out their second team defense. And I believe that Chandler's second team defense will hold Perry just as well. And we do have a quarterback on Perry's side, that being it's number 18, Ethan James. He is a senior for Perry. And it does look like that's a pickup of 6 with second down, and fourth to go. And the ball is on Perry's 19-yard line with 9:25 left to go. Another handoff, as he does get the first down, as he brings it up to the 25-yard line. So it does look like Chandler is starting to maybe focus on next game a little too much. They're starting to lose focus on this game, as it's a quarterback keep by Ethan James, and he does pick up quite a few yards, taking it all the way to about the 49-yard line, which is a pickup. That's a pickup of about 24 yards. With 8 minutes left in this fourth quarter, it does look like this game is about over, with Chandler still having a 55-0 lead over Perry. So what do you think that makes Chandler as almost unstoppable as they are now?
It really does, and they're, like you said, they're definitely thinking about that for next game, which may not help them here, but I mean, I don't know how much. I think it's okay that they're thinking about next game.
Yeah, I don't really see Perry coming back here.
No.
With 55 points and only about 7:50 left in this. I think this is written as a W for Chandler.
Yep.
So I think that they are just giving, their second team that opportunity to play, shine. They're giving their second team to show that no matter what team we put out there, we're going to come hard at you.
Yeah.
And it does look like that's a throw by Ethan as he's taken down at the 30-yard line. So we have 7:20 left to go in the fourth quarter with it is 55-0 Chandler. And it does look like they are going to... Oh, it does look like a false start on Perry's side, which will bring them back to around the 44-yard line. And if you're Perry right now, you're just realizing that, you made a lot of mental mistakes this game, but there's always next game. Chandler is holding their heads high, as it looks like Perry's sideline seems a little down and out of it. So it does get brought back to the 38-yard line, as it does look like a drive by number 44 on Chandler's side, Cade Wilson. Who picks up about 5 on that, which leads to a 2-5 second down and 10 yards to go. So we do have 6:10 left in this fourth quarter, as Perry lines up on the ball for another snap. And we do have a flag on the play. So what were some earlier mistakes that you saw that Perry could have fixed, or that still carried over to this quarter? Like, what mistakes do you think that if Perry fixed them, they might have stayed in this game?
I think maybe just like the quarterback, and where they went. I don't think that was always the best run.
Yeah, it did look like Perry was repeating a few plays that didn't really seem to work for them.
Yeah.
And that kept not working for them, as Chandler kept just shutting them down. And it does look like another run by 44. And it looks like he gains 1 yard on that run, which brings them to a 3rd down and 15 yards to go at Chandler's 38. With just under 5 minutes left in this fourth quarter, you can say this game is written off. This just seems like an opportunity to get the second team to get their time in on a game. And it does look like Ethan steps back to throw, as a big hit happens. Which completely shuts down whatever drive they had going, which brings it to 4th down and 19, which means that the Pumas are going to have to come out for a punt with only 4:10 left in this quarter. So it does look like they're going to let the ball bounce, as it bounces off around the 15-yard line. So we have a 1st and 10 for the Wolves at their 15-yard line with about 3:30 left in this fourth quarter, as Chandler leads 55-0. So what are you thinking that they should transfer over to next game against Higley High School? What do you think that will work for them next game?
I think being smarter about their plays, maybe not underestimating the competition, depending on, that school, and really going strong the first quarters.
Yeah, I think that how hard they started off at the beginning of the game really let them relax now, getting a 55 lead over Perry. Oh, and it does look like he's going to get some room, and he's taken down around the 40-yard line, which is about a pickup of 35 for Chandler. And that is number 26 for the Wolves, being Jeremiah Moore again, who we've seen Jeremiah Moore in the third quarter as well as the fourth. And he is honestly as good as a running back as Eli Sanders and Nicholas Nesbitt, which just shows that Chandler does have a lot of running options that they can use to switch it up if one of them does get shut down, which is very rare in that sense.
Yep.
And it does look like Cameron Beard, sorry about that, goes for the quarterback keep, but there is a flag down on the play, which brings them back to the Chandler 28-yard line. We have 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter as Chandler lines up for another snap. Cameron Beard is back for the ball. It does look like another handoff to Jeremiah Moore as he picks up the yards that they just lost off of that run, bringing it back up to the 45-yard line. So with 1:30 left in this game, the Wolves lead 55-0. And it does look like they're just going to keep running this ball as well as running down the clock.
Yeah.
And Jeremiah Moore with another breakaway, getting onto the Pumas' 40-yard line. With only a minute left to go in this fourth quarter, it does look like Chandler's going to run one more play, as there's another run by Jeremiah Moore as he's taken down around the 29-yard line, but there is a flag on the play around the 41-yard line. And it does look like there's an injury on number 59 for the Pumas, which that being
Ethan Gonzalez.
It does look like that's another penalty on Chandler, and we've seen a lot of these penalties reflecting that putting Chandler in a bad mental mistakes with all these penalties that they're inflicting on themselves. A lot of Chandler's lost yardage is just penalties of simple mistakes that they shouldn't be making. And it's another drive by Jeremiah Moore as he just makes up the yards again. Chandler tends to do that a lot when they lose yards because of flags. They just make it up on that next play. As the clock keeps running with 15 seconds left to go in this fourth quarter, I think Chandler is just going to let the clock run with 55. It looks like they're going to try to run one more play with 3 seconds left. And that is game as Chandler absolutely demolishes Perry 55-0. Being led by Mikey King. And they couldn't get that last play off in that last 3 seconds of that drive. And the Wolves go on to be 3-0. All right, and that has been the live stream for today. I'm Clay.
I'm Helen.
And I hope you all have an amazing weekend, and I'll see you next time.